tune into social media, the 9 to 5 life that exists out there, it always seems like we're too good for this 9 to 5 life. We need to be an entrepreneur, we need to run a business. And if you're not running a business, go think about opening a business, and it needs to be done right now. Like if you don't do it right now, you're missing out. And this 9 to 5, this corporate life is going to eat you up. You're going to have this cycle of waking up, clocking into work, answering to a manager, answering to your boss, having to give specific dates for time off for something that if you were self-employed or if you were an entrepreneur, you don't need to answer to anyone. You could just take the time off. This sort of cycle and what you're seeing on social media, is it selling a lie? I'm not sure. Like, is it making us believe that we must escape this 9 to 5? I know a lot of people personally who have experienced an amazing career in 9 to 5, that have established foundations with 9 to 5, built a family, bought a house, bought their first car, and they continue to do so. Perfect example is my dad. You know, when I look at my dad, he's not an entrepreneur. He doesn't have a business, never owned a business, but he's a hard-working man. He clocks in and he clocks out. Now, I want to normalize that. Of course, don't get me wrong, I do want to get into business. You know, I'm already working on things such as teaching, such as things outside and inside of dentistry, but the foundation of my career, of where I've started off from to where I currently am, to what's given us a beautiful home, a beautiful holiday, beautiful car, amazing family, amazing experience, it comes from and it stems from the 9 to 5. We do a collab and we've got some madness going on.
What the hell?
You know, coffee when it settles in a little bit, it's nice. So I'm not here trying to say to people don't be an entrepreneur. If you have the skill set and you have that potential, then go explore it. But why should we always put down this 9 to 5 life? We shouldn't, because our ancestors set foundation in different countries. They didn't come in with businesses and a lot of money. The first thing they did was they clocked into work, got a job, made sure they earned the money. They gave us food, water, and a house and education. That was their goal, and that stems from a 9 to 5. So of course we should value it. You know, we shouldn't look down on it. Of course work gets, repetitive. The clocking in, the clocking out, taking time off. You have to put a request in. You have to make sure nothing's booked in. I do sit back and I think, if I had my own business, would I worry this much? No. Would I have to answer to anyone? No. But at the same time, being an entrepreneur can make it very difficult. You need a lot of money. You need a lot of time. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot, and you will require taking time out of a busy schedule. So you're working 9 to 5 and you're trying to hustle on the side. You're going to be putting in a lot of hours after your 9 to 5. So your 9 to 5 is just the start of it, and then your 5 to 11, or your 5 to 9, or 5 to 12, it's going to be you grafting on that business. And if you've got a family, you've got kids, you've got parents, at what point do you sit back and think, this for X amount of time is going to benefit me? Of course it will benefit you if you put your effort in, but at the same time, it's not quite out for everyone, because people don't want that. People want to go to work, come home, and then they spend the rest of their day and their evenings with the family and friends. And the few things that I've worked on that I feel like can help normalize that 9 to 5 and just make your life just feel that a bit more easier. It's number 1, don't be working every single day in the week. If you can, find a position, find a job, especially me as a dentist, where I can take that day off, I could take that weekend off, I could take that Friday afternoon off. So I'm working in practice here, I'm working in a practice here, and I'm spreading things out, and I'm structuring my week in such a way that I know that when it comes to a Friday, I then have my weekend off to spend time with family. Number 2, I'm trying to structure things a bit better. It's a bit like an entrepreneur, but I'm trying to structure my days. Got myself a diary, just jotting things down, structuring my days, making sure that my 9 to 5 is as efficient as possible, because there's some jobs that require you to stay a little bit behind to catch up with work, get there a bit early to catch up with work. But if you structure things and you organize things, your admin is perfect, you know what you're going in for, and you're finishing on time, that just makes your life so much easier, stress free. You don't have to, answer to your bosses because you've been a bit slack, you've been procrastinating, and you just haven't put in the effort. No, what you do is you go in, you know exactly what you're going to be doing. Me as a dentist, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. I clock in, I clock out, I make my patients happy, I get home, and I've got the whole evening to just chill and relax. Number 3, hustle on the side if you need to. You don't have to quickly drop the 9 to 5 just because now you want to hustle and become an entrepreneur and you want to make social media videos. No, what to do is work your 9 to 5 and have a little hobby on the side. It might not even be a hobby, selling TVs. I don't think anyone's ever discovered that as a hobby. But if you're planning on selling TVs and making a bit of money from it, do it on the side, have a bit of fun with it. Don't force yourself and trap yourself into such a mindset that you want to become rich overnight and this is the only way, because you'll end up finding a way to cheat the system. You'll end up finding a way to make money quick, and making money quick often comes through something that involves a big risk, number one, or more commonly you're cheating your way through it. Things take time, so why rush it? Just relax, work your 9 to 5, chill out, work on that side hustle, that side business, spend a bit of time with family, and then slowly but surely you'll pick up the rhythm. I'm not really sure if these few tips can make a big difference. They're not textbook tips, it's just something that I've worked on. It's something that I feel like people can value. But let's just hope that you can take something back from it. So let's normalize the 9 to 5. Let's not put it down other people, because sometimes I feel it. I feel it from my dad that works a 9 to 5, and I don't ever want to sit back and think that's rubbish. Be an entrepreneur. We understand the economy is more difficult now. We understand that things are a bit more difficult now, in the sense where you do require another person working if you're in a relationship, and we do require a side hustle to make the extra bit of money to take that bit of financial pressure away from you. But if you're in the right career and you can see progression with your 9 to 5, you can work up the ladder, you can earn a lot of money. I really hope you guys benefit from this video. I mean, I'm just talking out my experience. Let's just hope that people benefit from it.